All right. We got a Lil Champ Fway in the cut. Raider Clan member, artist, YouTuber, a lot of things. Businessman, you know the vibes. What you been up to, man? What you been up to?
Shit, man, just working on new music, working on new clothes. Uh, just released my strand from my brand Sunny Genetics. Shit, so I got the weed brand out there. I got the music I'm working on. Like, yeah, I'm just doing a bunch of shit. Strand reviews.
Yeah, I saw that on the YouTube. That's amazing. So, like, how'd you get into doing the strain reviews?
Um, I seen other people doing it. Like it was a YouTuber named Yarn World. I saw him doing it, and I was like, damn, like I be getting that weed that he was reviewing. I'm like, I be getting that shit way before him. Cause shit, I was in LA. Like, well, I'm in Miami right now, but I live in LA, so I'm able to get the strands and shit first. So I'm like, I might as well do this shit because I could get my hands on it quicker and shit. I got a personality and like I just was like, fuck it, I'ma just do it.
Yeah. What's your favorite, like, couple of strains that you've ever reviewed?
Um, my favorite one was the Marathon OG. R.I.P. Nip, yeah, the Marathon OG, and
So was that distributed by Nipsey Hussle? Is that what you were saying?
it's his strand, but it's distributed by the Cure Company. So like they like grew it for him, and like Nipsey just the branding for it. But yeah, Marathon OG, that's probably one of my favorite ones I did. And I think White Slushy, I like that one too.
Is there any, like, other celebrity, like, strains that you could shout out that you know of or anything? You could put me
Yeah,
on to?
I did Hefe OG, that Shy Glizzy strand. That shit ain't been around
I
for a
didn't know
long
I
ass
didn't know
time.
he had one. Everybody has one.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that Hefe OG, yeah, Shy Glizzy shit was gas. Currency, he got the Andretti OG and he got Jets. That shit was gas.
Currency's a legend,
Um,
yo. He's a legend.
yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, of course his weed gonna be gas. Who else? Um, rapper. I just smoked one. I think Dizzy Wright. He got the Dizzy OG.
Dizzy
That shit
Wright,
was
is he like a funk artist or something? Or am
He
I?
was on that he was with what's his name? Hobson. He was in that little movement with them, yeah. He from Vegas and shit. But yeah, he got his own strand of his gas. You should check out Dizzy Wright. He got some fire ass music too.
Oh, I'm thinking about Dottie Gats. Same kind of name.
Yeah, nah, Dizzy Wright been putting in work for a minute, man. He lit.
Oh, okay. So he has songs with, like, wide. Okay, I haven't listened to a lot of Hopsin. My friend Jace put me on, but, like, I think it doesn't. Wasn't Currency in the 504 Boys? Is that?
Yeah, he was on No Limit. Yep. He was on No Limit and Cash Money. Both.
Yeah. Well, like, the 504
Yep.
Boys. What's that one? Charge a fee. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he got songs. He was on the new 504 Boys, not the old one.
Oh, so
He was
so
on
like
like
similar to
the
how, like, the 3-6 had 3-6 and then they had the Mafia 6. So they said they kind of
yeah
did
he
that.
was yeah he was on like the newer one when Master P like got into I think it was like around 2003 or one of those shit like current
Yeah,
I saw a video with him there.
I know what you mean because, like, a lot of music groups, they do that where, like, they'll have, like, one wave. I mean, even Raider Clan kind of had that where they had, like, an original wave coming in and then, like, there's, like, a couple more different waves. Or, like, Slim Gorilla would be like, well, I think he was sort of later coming in. Do you get what I'm saying?
He actually he was there from the beginning.
Oh,
It's
for
just
real?
yeah, he was there from the beginning. It's just they like put they was trying to like put like trying to do it like the Dungeon Family, I guess. It was like first generation Raider Clan, second generation. Even though they consider Slim Gorilla and Dirty Red and like a few other second generation. The motherfuckers was first generation. because they was there from the beginning. But you know, like, yeah, that's how it was though.
I mean,
He was doing tracks with Amber London.
Yeah.
Like, shit, like when Raider Clan first started.
And still kind of is, like, if anybody checks out the Passion Play stuff, I'm a big supporter of Passion Play and
oh yeah, he's consistent.
Right, like, and he just dropped 3 mixtapes in like one day, like a couple months ago. He did the Pimp Demic, the Keep It, whatever. It was all of them, and they were just like so good. But I want to ask you, like, how did you? I asked this, you know, how did you get in Raider Clan? Gotta ask that.
So it was around, I said, like 2011. You know, I was just putting out my little music and shit. Like, I didn't even have a mixtape yet. I just was putting out songs on YouTube and shit. And but I had a videographer who was doing my videos, Uncle Luke. Not the Uncle Luke, like shake your ass Uncle Luke, like the video director Uncle Luke. He shot videos for a lot of the underground artists and a few mainstream, but I was doing videos with Uncle Luke, and Uncle Luke had put me on perp. And I was like, damn, this kid looked familiar. Cause like, I'm like, wait, like, I get you put me on the music, but I'm like, I know him already. So I'm like, okay, like I'm listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, I want him to get on one of my songs. So Luke was already talking to Perk, like through DMs, because he wanted to shoot a video for him. So I told Uncle Luke, I was like, shit, like link us up, like tell him I want to do a song and shit, because I know this jit. His name Marquise. So
Did you go to school with him or something?
Nah, we used to live in like the same like complex. Like we were small as fuck. It was some shit called Monterey Village. If I'm like 9, Perp had to be like 5. Like, and he was
so you're older than Perp. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so like I remember this shit. Like we was just kids and shit playing outside, but then we moved. But like, you know, you can remember things. And I remember him. So I was like, yeah, link us up. We gotta do a song and shit. So when he linked us up to like talk and shit, we followed each other on Twitter. He was already doing his ASAP thing. Like it was getting big. So he had Raider Clan too. And when we got on the phone, you know, we was just talking about like, you know, like the past and shit, like the people who we knew around that area and like shit like that. And then we wasn't even talking about the song really. He was like, yeah, I'm about to come back to Miami and I'm about to start my Raider Clan movement. I was like, shit, I want you to be in it. Like, yeah, I'm coming back to Miami and I'm trying to start Raider Clan. And I'm like, shit, I want you to be in it. And I'm like, shit, hell yeah. And at the time, it was early on. It was only a few members in it because Perp was still in New York at the time. He just had recruited Denzel and Simi, and he had Amber London, Young Renegade, Mike DC.
Was Sorta Human in it, or was he just an affiliate?
He was always affiliate.
Yeah.
Always affiliate, so.
I love the contributions that he's made to production. Sorta Human's amazing, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he lit.
Yeah, and like.
Yeah, like around that time, shit, it was the early stages. So I just Perp like handpicked me, like it was him to put me in. Yeah. So it was, you know, it was like destiny and shit.
What type of moves were you making after? Like, what type of moves did you make like right after you got in?
The same one. It was like, okay, I'm in Raider Clan. Okay, let's just, like, it kind of like, you seem like little shit switch. Like, I started probably wearing black a little bit more. I always was wearing black. And then I just start wearing that a little bit more. That's really it.
Because, like,
we didn't really do shit, but just do what we did.
Because, like, the way, I don't know if this is all intentional, but the way, like, the aesthetic was, like, directed to, like, the way everything was going, is like very appealing from like an outsider, from like fuck all this like, you know, industry type of stuff. But if you like look at it from like a looking at like paintings from like a certain time frame, and I'm not trying to sound super sophisticated, what I'm saying is that the way the aesthetic was very consistent and like very well done is very impressive, and that's why I love to see like the impact all of you guys made and stuff like that. And like your mixtape Neighborhood Superstar 1999, like who contributed to the production on that? Because that's like amazing. I was just listening to that.
You know, it's crazy. Like a lot of those instrumentals, like some of them instrumentals, some of them was like beats that I got from my boy Rob. I was getting beats from Rob at the time. Yeah, that's all I had. Like, and he made beats for Rob Banks too early on, but I wasn't really getting beats from anybody yet. Like, so it was just whatever I had. Like, it was just raw and a bunch of like instrumentals, and I made it work because the instrumentals I used weren't instrumentals that people knew. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's why I was like, it sounded damn near like an album, but that shit was fucking those instrumentals.
Yeah, so were some of them like stuff that you freestyled like off of like other people's like releases?
Yeah.
Could you shout out like a couple of them that you could remember, or? Cause then I'm gonna look into them and see what the other people did.
Tony, the Whatever You Want, I used that beat. Tony. I used the Brat Funkified, that was loped out.
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song.
I used I rapped on Jodeci, Cry For You. Like, I rapped on like...
Didn't you like mention her in the lyrics or something like that? Or you mentioned that person in the lyrics, the Jodeci thing.
Oh yeah, I love Jodeci, so of course I'm gonna mention them on songs and rap on their beats and shit. Sample them, all that shit.
Yeah. Like, that's why like a lot of like really good when a funk beat or, you know, whatever it is done very well, it should sound like almost like not too close to the sample, but very good funk beats just sound like straight up R&B tracks, and that's why like it's cool to see people go like real hard on a R&B sounding instrumental. You know what I mean? Instead of like, cause like what kind of Drake did with the R&B style stuff is he starts singing on the R&B sample type of stuff. But when you see someone like, you know, rap that type of stuff on an R&B, that's like a completely different approach, and that's why I fuck with it.
Yeah, man, that wave, that was some shit. Like, I would say out of the Klan members, like Slim, Gorilla, Perk, me, like, we was the ones that would do that, like rap on the R&B samples and shit.
Like, I know what you mean by that, cause like Friday does kind of sound like a, you know what I mean, like a pop. Like, you could get like a pop singer on Friday if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that's he sampled that Friday, Saturday Night Love, like, so Perk big on them old school R&B shits. Like, he a student, so he was listening.
What were you listening to when you were like a youngin'?
Just everything. It's like whatever I fucking heard, like rock and roll, because rock and roll was out. Like, whatever I heard, I listened to it. But rap wise, what I would get into when I was like, okay, I'm listening to CDs and like 1 through however many tracks is on it.
Yeah.
Was like, let's see. Makes Harlem World, like the Bad Boy, like that's when I was like would listen to CDs. Like, it was like, okay, I kind of knew like, okay, this is CD.
I still get CDs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I'm 18, I still get CDs. Like, if I'm at a thrift store, garage sale, I got a Whitney Houston CD. I love Whitney Houston.
Damn, that's the lit. Where you play them at? Shit.
My car, like all cars have it. No, dude, does your car not have it? Is your car more newer than mine?
Nah, that shit. It ain't even in there no more.
What year car do you have?
I think that shit like a 2015. Like, they took them shits out. What, like 13 or something?
Yeah, I got like a 2007, but damn though. But like and like a lot of underground people still do that where they release like Doom Shot members. They still do CDs and stuff like that. Like, what's a CD that you like remember burning? Like not burning, but like almost breaking how much you listen to it. You know what I mean?
That I remember playing back and forth a lot. I'm like that was installed in me. What CD was that? Juvenile, like Juvenile 400 Degrees, like the Hot Boys, like those, all that little era, like the Hot Boy era.
Yeah.
That's the ones I was listening to, like the 400 Degrees, The Block is Hot, like, yeah.
So you caught on to Wayne real early then?
Oh yeah, he was my favorite rapper back then. Cause he was young and like I'm like, okay, he kind of close to my age. He was way older than, not way older, but he's older, but he's still young. So I was like, okay, I like him out of the group. Like he was been my favorite rapper.
What's cool about him is
That
there's
was
so
my
many
first
different
favorite
types of
rapper.
fans of him. You know what I mean? There's fans that are all different eras of him. Like you're obviously a fan of like the sort of like late 90s, early 2000s Wayne, but then there's some people that'll only listen to like the 2007, 2013, and some people only listen to the new. Like he's been doing this shit so fucking long that he has like a huge difference in like all the fans that he's had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why he's still able to be here.
So one of my favorite tracks that you've done is with Jay Green. How'd you link up with him for the song? I can't say the name of the song, but you know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah, and what's crazy, Jay Green at the beginning of because Jay Green he's a producer, and him and Perp was coming up at the same time, producing but Perp was like, he was the one people were paying attention to, but if you was paying attention to underground, you knew about Jay Green. And you was like, well, damn, Jay Green got some hard-ass beats, too. So it kind of was like a fake beef going on. Like,
Nah, for real?
Yeah. It wasn't even, it was just like, who's a better producer? And then Jay Green actually hit me up, like, on some shit like he want to work. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's work. And on top of that, he wanted to be in Raider Clan. So I put him in it. I'm the one put him in Raider Clan.
Man.
So it was like certain people that had the power to do that. Like me, Denzel. Like me and Denzel would put people in it a lot of the time.
Well, this track that Denzel did with Jay Green is, I'd argue it's a top 5 Denzel track. Like the From the South one. And it's probably the best, I'd say like the second best or probably the best example of anyone using the Joski Love sample with the, like, you know, people, you know what I'm talking about, that one horn saxophone that goes like, na 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 na.
Uh-huh.
Like, that shit's been overused, like, to the fucking, like, max. Like, it was probably used like 100 times a year in really different funk beats. But that's the best example of that. Like, Jay Green, he's been doing that shit since like 2007, but people don't really acknowledge it.
Like Jay, he was doing it basically before Perp was doing it, like, cause he a little bit older. So.
Do you know how old he is, like literally, or do you not want to share that? Cause I don't think it's.
Like, I don't know. Like he's, cause Perp like 30, so shit. Jay Green got to be like 31 or 32. Some shit like that.
And Schema, bro, Schema. Did you pay attention to Schema like at all, or do you still, or?
I knew about them because of Jay Green. So like, whatever Jay Green was doing, and I like, when I saw him doing it, I didn't even get it, and like I didn't even know like that Lil Peep was in it and all this, and like I didn't know what was going on. So I looked at it afterwards when everybody started doing whatever they was doing, and now I pay attention to them. Like with the new members, they got like Cold Blooded. Like I fuck with him. So,
yes, Cold Blooded's he's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, Like, I think the last person to get in Raider Clan was like Nail and Rail.
That was
After
fire.
that, everybody was just, everything else was affiliation.
Yeah, that was fire. That was fire. But like, what music have you been working on now? Like, what producers or artists have you been working with now that you could speak on?
If you check out like my last ones that I did, the last 3 projects I did, I got a lot of people on that shit. Let me look. Cause right now I got the usual suspects. I got of course Perp Dog, like he been rocking with me forever. Um I still get beats from Mr. Cisco.
Yeah, bro, Mr. Cisco right there. That's a legend, yo.
Yeah, he was on my last tapes. I get beats from DP. Um Let me see. My boy 891. These like my personal producers.
The Cashy Kesh
Long.
song was good. I fucked with that one.
Which one?
The fuck the clout one.
Oh, that's my boy Nug Life. He made that beat. Like, yeah, man, I fuck with a lot of producers, bro. Like, it's so many. Like, if you just look at my tracks, just always look at the producer. Like, it's always somebody new. Like, brand new. Like, cause I'm always getting new beats and shit.
Yeah.
They be fire too. But I got beats from big people too, like Street Runner. I got DP beats, like I got shit from Dolan. Who else? I did a whole project with Young Icy back in the day, like yeah, bro. Yeah, Big Los. He just sent me a whole bunch of new beats, so Big Los still around. Like I got a lot of beats, bro.
You heard of Loco Los?
Yeah, I know about Loco Los.
He's fire. He's fire. Was he in BMB or is he in something else? Or was he?
I think so. He might have been. He was I know who that is.
Yeah. Who else was in BMB? Shoot.
I don't really know everybody's name. Like, Perp was always there was always some new people in that shit, bro. I'm like, who the fuck is all these people? Like, what the fuck? It was always some new shit going on.
Yeah.
So, it was hard to keep up.
And Loco's got a lot of stuff with Trip Jones. Shouts out to Trip Jones. I fuck with Trip Jones.
I know about Trip Jones too.
Yeah. So I want to ask about like more of the earlier work. Like who would you consider your mentor when you started getting into writing music? Like was there like like a friend or somebody really early on that helped you like write, or was it all you, or did you have a mentor that you could speak on?
With the writing the songs, it really was just all me. Like I was just writing other people's raps that I heard, like my favorite rappers. Like I would write Lil Wayne verses down, so I could learn how to rap. Like, okay, I can write this shit down, or rap it, and like, okay, that's how I should rap. And then start turning into my own raps and start switching his words to my words. So
that sounds like a cool idea. So you would hear someone else's ideas and you'd be like, not ideas, but you would rap someone else's lyrics, but in your way. That sounds like a cool shit.
Yeah. Until I learned how to write my own shit, like how I want it.
Yeah.
And then, because I was writing paragraph form, and then my homeboys showed me how to write bars. And once I learned how to write like a bar, like 16 bars, then I really knew how to like, okay, I could rap. I could rap any way I want to rap because I know how to write the rap. Like I used to like writing a paragraph, it's like you're reading it. So it was like, I still wasn't learning. Once I learned how to write the bars, then it was on.
So who was the friend that was helping you like do the bars and all of that?
Oh, my homeboy Chose. He I had knew him from like back in the day playing football and shit. And
what position were you?
What position were you? In Optimus, I played running back, corner, linebacker. I played everything.
What school you go to?
Yes. High school or like?
Yeah, high school.
High school, I went to Crop. I went to Norland, and then I went to Parkway Academy. I went to a few different schools, high
Damn.
school.
That's fire. I played D line and shit. That shit was fun in middle school, but then I quit to just focus on like art shit, cause this shit is really time consuming. Like when you really get into like producing or like writing anything or like doing videos, I couldn't handle all the sports stuff. But like I want to talk about the clothes and stuff like that. Like, do you have a clothing brand already out, or are you working on like a new one or something like that?
I'm actually working on it right now. Like it's basically everything is ready. Um, I didn't release it. So like I'm about to release it maybe in the next month and a half. So like yeah, that shit coming. It's gonna be like jean jackets, jeans, hats, like hats like this, like bucket hats.
All right, I'm copping a bucket hat. I'm known for rocking bucket hats. All right then.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have the trucker hats too. Yeah, man. So like, I'm just getting it all in order right now.
What's it called?
It's called Adore, like ARDOR. So it's like it's separate from like my whole thing. Like I want it to be like I'm Lil Champ Fway, like Fway Nation, but then my clothes is a whole nother like thing, and my weed brand is a whole nother thing. So then I bring them in with me. All is like it's like I'm trying to be a brand, but I don't want to just be one thing. Like I don't want to have just Fway on everything. I want everything to have its own identity.
Yeah. So like Sunny Genetics, that's your strain brand. What's that?
Yeah, that's my brand. It's like I release strands through it. Like it'll be like so my brand is Sunny Genetics, and then I have a strand called Snorlax. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
like so it's basically like Sunny Genetics put out Snorlax, and then I got another strand. I did a collab with my homegirl Devious. So we got 2 strands right now, and we got other products too.
How does
Really
that
got
work though?
everything.
You know what I mean? Like, just like do you have to find a distributor? Do you have to find like stores to like distribute it to? Like, how do you start a strain? You don't have to give me every like an hour of detail on it, but in a simple term, how does he get like a strain started?
So basically, anybody could do it if you got a little bit of money. Like, it's just what quality you want to do it at. So me, really, you as long as you know someone who can make your bag, you have to come up with your own ideas, of course. If you have a person that can make your bylaws for you, like for example, I came up with Snorlax. I'm like, okay, I want a strand called Snorlax. I'm gonna get the artwork done. I'm gonna get the bags made. So I put my brand on it, on the bag, Sunny Genetics at the top, and then the bag has the picture of Snorlax. And okay, boom, that's the first step. Now the second step is getting the weed. I don't grow weed, and you don't even have to grow weed to have your own brand. As long as you know someone who has it and you can put it in a bag. It's all just marketing. So people would just put weed in a Ziploc bag now. I mean, back in the day, now it's okay, I'm gonna think of something to market this and make it look better. So all I do is just get my bags made from my manufacturer. I know all type of growers and Brown Cali and everywhere. So I built it to the point where I found the strands that I wanted to put in the bags because I then could have did it and had my own strand, but I wasn't seeing the product that I wanted to start my brand with. So I finally got the product that I like. It's a grower that I like, and I'm rocking with him. And I just get my weed from him, put it in a bag, and now boom, I have my own weed brand, Sunny Genetics. It's easy. This is like the shit Burner did, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Talking
it's
about
like
Burna
you
Boy?
just call it. No, Burner, the rapper Burner, rap like he started
Oh,
cookies. Yeah, Burner is like when you see that C on the bag, like just look up Burner. He signed a Wiz Khalifa. He basically the biggest weed connoisseur out right now. He's the reason why people are making Mylar bags and wanting to smoke exotic and all this. Burner,
Yeah.
underground legend, because it's
And
like different.
Wiz
Yeah, go
Khalifa
ahead.
has a deal, right, with the cookies brand. Is that the one you're talking about? The one that was the blue one, right? You're talking about the blue one, right?
Yeah, that's Burner. Like he got hands in that.
That
He's the
shit's
one.
everywhere.
Yeah, Burner. Burner did that.
I'm about to look into that. That shit. That sounds amazing. You're really,
Yes.
you're really,
Mm-hmm.
you're really on that business shit. I fuck with that. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
like, when did
Yeah,
you figure
man.
out you were like an entrepreneur? When did you figure that out? Was it a gene,
Um,
or did you have to grow into it?
like, cause people around me did it. Like, shit, my grandma used to like make. She was a seamstress, so she would make suits for her whole church and shit. Like, she was making suits for the whole church. Like, I saw her do it, but I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I just saw her doing it, and so when I start making my little clothes, and because I've been with paint on my clothes and cut up my jeans and do shit like that, but the entrepreneur thing came when I wanted to do Fway hats. I made a Fway hat for myself. It was just for me, like because I wanted a hat that said Fway on it. So I got a black hat and I got it embroidered in Fway in Pembroke Lake Small. I didn't think nothing of it. I started wearing it. People was like, "Yo, I want the hat. I want the hat. I want the hat." So many people was asking me. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna buy a bunch of hats and I'm gonna sell them." This is like 2011. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just, I guess, like." So I bought my hats, got the Fway hats. That was the first Fway hats ever. It's still on my Instagram, and they sold out. Like, so I was like, "Okay, I could do this. I could like sell clothes." So I would sell the hats sometimes. I would have Fway shirts. We had Fway shades. We had Fway crew necks, like tie dye. What else did we have? Like, it was so much things that I did. Like while I was in Raven Clan, I was doing it, but I wasn't really looking. It wasn't like branding wasn't so big back then as it is
Yeah.
now. So it was like people was more paying attention to my music, and it was just getting my like stuff like to support me. Really like, oh, I'm gonna buy like a hat or I'm gonna buy shirts because it wasn't no stream. So that was the ways of like I guess people were supporting me, buying me
Yeah.
clothes and shit.
Because people don't realize that, like, in 2011 or 12, you couldn't just get a DistroKid account and just start dropping every 2 seconds. Like, you had to, like, be more crafty with the distribution because of the fact that the distribution, where you could distribute music, was so limited. You had to do, like, SoundCloud wasn't even popping back then, so you would. This is why I love these mixtape websites, which I'm about to shout out. Spinrilla, that shit's a classic. Like, if you wanted to get your music out there, you had DatPiff, Spinrilla, LimeWire, and MySpace, and SoundClick. That's another one that people will make a lot of money off.
That's where all the producers who used to be on. Like every legendary producer was on SoundCloud.
Yeah, Soldier Boy would like sold beats, a lot of beats on SoundClick or some shit. He made like how much money did he make? He said he made like 100K on SoundClick when he was like really young, like probably like 17, 16, 18. Like he made like 100K off SoundClick or selling beats. That could just be Soldier Boy kid. But yeah, Soldier Boy, shouts out to him. He's a fucking pioneer with all the internet shit. Like, what's your favorite like mixtape website from back in the day, or where'd you listen to music on when you were like back in 2010 and all that?
See, the mixtape era didn't come to like you had to get mixtapes in the streets when they first started coming out. Like it was CDs, like it was G Unit and like Dipset, like those were the people dropping mixtapes, like and DJ K
Dipset.
Slade, yeah, like DJ K Slade, DJ Clue, like they would drop mixtapes with like 30 songs on it, unreleased shit from D Block and Jadakiss that you'd never hear on none of their albums. So that was my first whiff of mixtapes, but you had to get it in the streets. Like you had to go, like people, they're selling CDs, mixtapes, and that's what they were selling. The Dat Piff and all that didn't come, like that, when that came out, that was when it was time for me to rap. That's when I knew, like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna really rap. Because at first I was just recording songs. There was no like platforms. There was no nothing to get mixtapes. It wasn't no websites. It was LimeWire and Napster, and you just download music.
A lot of the earlier rappers would just find a DJ, and that's how they would get their start. Like if you look at Drake or even Meek Mill, like Meek Mill, who hosted like the Gangsta Grills type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it was. That was like the beginning, and that was the Dat Piff. Live mixtapes, World Star, like all of that. Like that was that. Like that's when the mixtapes came like on. You could go to a website and you could find all the mixtapes instead of going on the street now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the Drake, the Meek Mill, like around that time. Like Lil Wayne too, like not even early Lil Wayne mixtapes. Like the dedications and all that got to the,
sorry for the wait too. That's another.
Those was the ones that was like on mixtape websites. But Wayne was dropping mixtapes before then, like Squad Up, and he was doing that. Like people got to go find those mixtapes, his Squad mixtapes. Those are the best ones. Yeah, those are the best ones.
I will look up Lil Wayne. And even the Memphis shit, like that shit was so rare too. Like a 9, like people would, like people will listen to like Stay Trippy. That's a Juicy J. Like no, you gotta go listen to 9mm. That's the real Juicy J.
Yeah, them boys, they dropped a lot of mixtapes too. Like you had to get it in the streets.
Yeah. What's your favorite? I assume you're a fan of Memphis rap. Like, what's your favorite Memphis rapper?
See, I didn't. My first time listening to like 3 6 Mafia, because I noticed them through Hot Boys, like the player while you hate, tear the club up. That was the first song I saw 3 6 Mafia. Because they had a song with Cash Money Records. It was Cash Money Records, 3 6 Mafia on one song. So that was my introduction to 3 6 Mafia. But I didn't go look for no CDs or nothing. But when I saw they drop like the Who Run It, Let Me See Your Tongue Ring, and all, that's when I got into 3 6 Mafia. Like, I forgot what album it was. Like, I forgot what, but the album came out probably like 99. Probably had like, not Ryan Spinners. I forgot what it had on there, but that's when I got into 3 6 Mafia. In like Memphis. Not Memphis rap period, but like 3 6 Mafia. I liked 8 Ball and MJG, really, from Memphis. Like, I liked the Space Age, pimping and all that. Like, that's what I saw.
Space Age
and
pimping.
Yeah. Like that was really what I saw from Memphis first. I didn't see 3 6 Mafia.
So is Space Age pimping a mixtape or something?
No, it's an album.
By who?
8 Ball and MJG.
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, they from Memphis.
I know. I fuck with. Okay, here we go. And Screw's on. Oh, that's a song also on a Screw mixtape. That's probably. I bet DJ Screw is probably doing a Screw thing with that. I've been listening to a lot of DJ Screw shit too. That's what I miss though. All these like DJs now. I was talking with who was I talking about this with? I forget who, but we were talking about like how all the new like you fucking DJs they don't DJ on their mixtapes. They just get a bunch of tracks, and it's basically just a compilation tape, and they drop it, and they just scream in the beginning of the songs. Like, DJ Screw was actually making... You know what I'm talking about? How, like...
Yeah.
Like, DJ Khaled, I'm sorry, but he just doesn't have talent. Sorry.
No, DJ Khaled breaks records. Like DJ Khaled definitely got talent. He actually puts together songs. Like
I mean,
definitely, he's the one who broke Rick Ross. Like a lot of people wouldn't do what Khaled did. Like when you're at a radio station, it's a list they give you, and it's like play these songs. Khaled would play whatever the fuck he wanted to play.
so I assume you know more about him because you're from Miami. So what do you know?
Yeah.
So
Khaled's a different type of beast. That's why he's where he's at. Like nobody would do what Khaled do. They listen. They follow rules. Khaled never followed no rules.
So like, when did you get into DJ? Like, would you listen to like radio sets by him?
No, I wouldn't even listen to it's like when you in the car, you got no choice but to hear it. It's on. So it wasn't like I'm like, let me check out DJ Khaled.
So he was always on back then and shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Because I only know him for putting out albums where they're just like a bunch of songs like on it.
Nah, DJ Khaled was a real DJ, like on the radio, grinding. Like he was in New York breaking records, like in the grimiest places with Biggie Smalls. And yeah, DJ Khaled did a lot of shit.
Well, that's the first time. I mean, I'm gonna go check out. I'm gonna look up some footage of a set that he's doing. Now you better put me on to that. I'm gonna look into that because like I don't know. I only know him for the.
You gotta watch his interviews, or you gotta watch Fat Joe interviews, because they'll tell you everything. You even can watch Master P interviews.
Yeah.
He used to be with Master P.
Fat Joe does good interviews. I fuck with Fat Joe interviews.
Fat Joe, like you'll get the story about Khaled. He'll tell you.
What other DJs do you fuck with?
DJs. Shit, like I like the DJ K Slay and like DJ Clue. I like them. They used to drop mixtapes back to back to back to back to back to back. Like that's my definition of a DJ when I think of a DJ.
DJ Clue, that's his name?
Yep, DJ Clue, DJ K Slay, even DJ Envy. Like that's what I look at as like DJs. From when that's my vision.
I'll look into that shit. That shit really put me on some DJs because like I don't really know. I don't know if you might know this, but my generation we don't really know a lot about DJs. Like
yeah, because it's really no need for them damn there. Like the DJs was the ones that like this is the new music. You could go and find out new music on your own now. You don't even have to wait for no DJ to play it.
Exactly.
Like, so
yeah. So do you got any other like announcements or like music announcements that you want to share before we wrap this up?
Man, my album Are You Still Fway is coming soon. Man, like this gonna be some shit. Like I put together this shit like a real album, so it's not like songs. Like it's just song. Nah, it sound like a real album. It's gonna be like an experience because I never really dropped albums. So if you like Neighborhood Superstar, you're gonna like this one because that was like the longest project that I have. The rest of my projects are short. This next one, Are You Still Fway? Yeah, like if you like Neighborhood Superstar, East 1999, you're gonna like this.
Sounds like I'm gonna fucking love it, and I love this interview. Thank you for coming on the show. This shit was awesome, and link in the description, all your socials. Thank you.
Yes, sir. My Instagram, Fwaygod, FWAYGOD. Twitter, Fwaygod, FWAYGOD. If you want to follow my brand, my weed brand, and keep updated with the strands, it's Twitter. It's Sunny Genetics at Sunny Genetics, and on Instagram it's the same thing at Sunny Genetics, but after the Sunny, it's a period and then genetics. So yeah, man, just follow all them, man, and that's how you stay updated with me.
All right, man. Hell yeah. See ya.